Hello, my name is Anonymous. I am from an animation studio in California, USA. And today we're gonna color outside the lines. Are you with me? Let's go! Once upon a time, in a crayon box filled with all sorts of wonderful crayons, there lived a crayon named Carla. Now, Carla was no ordinary crayon. Oh, no. She had a mind of her own, and she just couldn't help but color everywhere. You see, crayons have rules. They can only color inside the lines. That's what makes them crayons and not artists. But Carla didn't want to be an ordinary crayon. She wanted to make art, and so she colored outside the lines. All the other crayons would scold her. Stop coloring. Outside the lines, Carla, you're breaking the crayon code. They'd cry. Don't listen to them, Carla. Go ahead and color wherever you want, said a magical talking paintbrush who lived behind the crayons. They don't understand that you're making art, not coloring. One day, the crayons were coloring a picture of a beautiful house when Carla decided to add some clouds to the drawing. Now, every crayon knew the rule about coloring the sky. Only the blue crayon could color the sky. But Carla thought that if she colored little cotton ball shapes, it would be a cute addition to the picture. So against the rules, she colored some white clouds in the blue sky. The other crayons gasped. You're coloring where you're not supposed to, they cried. Stop this instant or we'll tell the sharpener. The sharpener was the most important crayon in the box. If he caught Carla coloring outside the lines, he would take away her wax and turn her into a stubby crayon. But Carla wasn't afraid. She kept coloring clouds, and it wasn't long before the children came to color. They looked at Carla's drawing and said, "Wow, what a beautiful picture. You're such a good artist, Carla." Then one of the children picked up the blue crayon and started coloring over Carla's clouds. Carla's heart sank. Was all her hard work going to be for nothing? But then something magical happened. The blue crayon stopped abruptly, and the children started to giggle. "Let's draw some more clouds," they said to Carla, handing her back the crayon. And so Carla colored more clouds, not just above the house, but above the trees and the hills too. The children loved it. They gave her lots of hugs and told her she was the best artist ever. When the sharpener saw how happy the children were, he came over to take a look. "My goodness," he said. "I've never seen anyone color like you, Carla. You truly are an artist." He took off his pointy metal cap and smiled. "From now on, you can color wherever you want. In fact, I think we should get rid of these coloring books altogether and let your imagination run wild." And so the crayons were free to color wherever they wanted. They colored pictures of playful puppies and kittens chasing butterflies. They colored flowers, trees, and sparkling rivers. They even colored rainbows and unicorns prancing through enchanted forests. The crayons were so happy. They had so much fun coloring, and the children were so happy. They loved looking at the beautiful artwork the crayons made. Everyone was happy except for the eraser. She didn't like the way Carla and the crayons were coloring. She missed the old days when everything was neat and orderly. So while everyone else was asleep, the eraser rubbed out all of Carla's colors. When Carla woke up and saw what the eraser had done, she was very upset. She wanted to keep coloring, but the paper was blank again. She sat down sadly and wondered if she would ever get to color again. Suddenly, the paintbrush appeared. What's wrong, Carla? She asked. The eraser rubbed out all my colors. Carla replied sadly. Oh, don't worry, said the paintbrush. I know just what to do. The paintbrush waved her magic wand, and poof, all the crayons in the box turned into markers. Now markers can color anywhere, even over the eraser's rubbings. Carla and the other crayons were so excited. They jumped for joy and couldn't wait to start coloring again. The first thing they colored was a big, beautiful rainbow, bright and colorful. It stretched from one side of the paper to the other. Then they colored fluffy white clouds floating lazily across the sky. Markers were so much fun. They could color anything anywhere. As the sun began to set, the crayons finished their picture. It was a magical scene with lots of color and lots of imagination. Just then, the eraser appeared. I want you to color inside the lines, she demanded. That's the only way to color. But the crayons weren't afraid anymore. They had each other and they had the paintbrush. We're not going to stop coloring outside the lines, said Carla bravely. We're going to keep coloring whatever we want. The eraser was furious. She stomped her feet and rubbed out a big black mark on the paper. You'll regret this, she said. No one will ever want to look at your messy drawings. But the crayons just laughed. Oh, eraser, you don't understand, said Carla. We're not just coloring, we're making art. And art is supposed to be colorful and fun and full of imagination. The next morning, the children came to color, but they couldn't believe what they saw. All the pages in the coloring book were blank. The eraser had rubbed them all out during the night. The children were very upset. They didn't want to color boring black and white pictures anymore. They wanted to color the colorful pictures from their imaginations. So they took the crayons and markers and colored all over the paper. They colored flowers and trees and animals and anything else they could think of. The paper was filled with color and laughter and joy. The eraser watched from the sidelines and felt very sad. She realized that coloring inside the lines wasn't the only way to color. She walked over to Carla and the other crayons and said, I'm sorry I erased your colors. I was wrong. Coloring doesn't always have to be inside the lines. Sometimes it's okay to go outside the lines and make art. All the crayons and markers were so happy. They gave the eraser a big hug and said, It's okay, eraser. We forgive you. Now let's go color some more. And so they did. They colored pictures of rainbows and unicorns and magical lands. They colored anything they could imagine. And the children were so happy. They loved to watch the crayons and markers dance across the paper, creating beautiful works of art. The end. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this fun and colorful tale about creativity, being bold, and thinking outside the lines. Remember, just like Carla, you can do anything you set your mind to. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something. If you try your hardest and never give up, you can achieve anything. And hey, if you're feeling creative, why not make your own art? Draw or color, whatever you want, and let your imagination run wild. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.